Hi everyone, welcome to Chapter 9's online presentation on the development of instructional materials. This presentation is going to be a quick overview on the process of developing the materials for your task. Keep in mind that what you are doing here, and this is the big idea of the course, is that you're developing self-instructional materials, meaning that you will not necessarily have instruction where a student will have a teacher right in front of them instructing them. They are doing things on their own. So when we go through some of these examples, just keep in mind that this is like a paper-based lesson for what you're creating for this task. And you might not have that teacher standing up in front of the class talking to students, teaching the students. So far, if you kind of think about what we've done so far in the preceding chapters and earlier tasks, you've thought about your delivery system. You've developed your instructional strategy. You've made choices in your learning components and also the media selections. So now we're going to be going into the instructional materials. So there's three things that may affect media selection in the delivery system. First, do existing materials exist? If so, can you use them, and are they appropriate? So do you have to reinvent the wheel if something already is out there that you could pull from? If it fits, then could we use it? Second, production costs and implementation constraints. Is the fancy media format and delivery system the right one for you? Those tend to be expensive. So you might have had this idea that you're going to use some sort of high-tech gadget or implement some high-tech program, but that may cost a lot of money. Could you do the same thing with something a little more basic? Could you get to the end goal without that? So that might be something you have to think about. And then three, how much of an instructor present should there be? In your case, it's going to be very little because it's student-paced. So really, 2 and 3 aren't going to be that big of an issue for you because you're creating this self-paced, like paper pencil-based lesson. So I don't think it's going to cost much in the instructor side as we talk about it or as I tell you about it. Probably won't play into it that much. Now, for this project, you're in the process of designing instructional materials. The instructional package you create usually consists of the following things that you're looking at there. The instruction materials are what the student will use to achieve the outcome. They could be written, they could be mediated, they could be facilitated by an instructor, but you're probably most likely gonna have things written out. Will it be like a workbook, activities, assessments? You'll have a pre-test and a post-test most likely, but if anything, there's usually a post-test to see what's been learned. And then the course management information, usually it's thought of as like a user's manual. And if you're the instructor, these are the instructions that you're going to follow. If you've ever proctored like a standardized test, the SAT or big test, they basically tell the proctor or instructor exactly what to say and how to do it. It's the user's manual. So the course management information might be geared towards the student if they're working through it self-paced. It's just the directions and how to get the task done. Now, one of these scenarios here may occur if the designer is the developer and the instructor. And it just depends on the situation. This is just thinking big picture instructional design, not necessarily what we're doing in this case, but the instructor who's the designer may simply design the instructional materials. They're hired by the company to design things. They may or may not teach it. The instructor may select and adapt existing materials if things already exist, or the instructor uses no material but delivers instructions to suit the instructional strategy. So for this third one, I think it's more like of a public school teacher. So when the designer is not the instructor, there may be other settings when you have a team that you're working with putting this instruction together. There might be managers, designers, evaluators, subject matter experts. But in this case, we're thinking a kind of bigger picture. Now, it's not necessarily what we're doing for this task, but it does exist. I just want to point that out to you. Alright, and also when we're putting this stuff together, it's like anything else, it's probably a good idea to start with a rough draft. It's just a way to sketch out the ideas, guide what you're doing before you get to the final production. You could let the stakeholders see what you're putting together and evaluate it before you come up with the final thing. That might be a storyboard if you're doing a video. It might just be a sketch of final art. It could be just things written on a piece of paper, just to get the idea going of what you're doing with this. So, as I mentioned at the beginning, this was just a real short overview, and it just wanted to give you an idea of this project that you're doing and let you see the big picture. So, this is about it for the Chapter 9 presentation. If you have any questions, let me know. Just give me a call, email me, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. I hope you have a good day, and talk to you soon.